Almost every mech in the game stats have changed, so which mechs will be strong and which mechs will be weak? Watch to find out. And if you do enjoy the video, consider liking and subscribing. I'd appreciate it a ton. So the uncommon mechs got no changes to their stats. You might think that this will make a difference and they'll be the same, but they'll be much weaker. This is because all the other mechs got huge HP boosts while they didn't. They're gonna be completely useless in the meta now. I wouldn't recommend investing in any of them. Next is the uncommon mechs, and they all got a 19% HP buff. Juggernaut is now an uncommon, so he got the 19% buff as well. And Juggernaut's shield also got a 19% buff, making it have 31,600 HP. And Slingshot's dash also got a 19% buff, so now it deals 22,600 damage. And Puma's wall also got a 19% buff, so now it has 67,800 HP. And MD's heal unfortunately got no buffs. So although all these mechs got buffed, they're gonna be completely useless now. Before, you were able to use MD and Juggernaut and do decently with them, but now they're gonna get completely shredded, especially against the new buffed weapons. Next, the rare mechs, and they all got a 41% buff except for Stalker. Stalker got a 24% buff and he got hit hard. He has way less HP compared to the other mechs, and now he's gonna be a glass cannon. He's gonna require a lot more skill because if you're not careful, you'll get killed easily. So he's not going to be as good as he used to be, but I still think he's going to be a top 5 mech. He's probably going to be the 5th best mech in the game, fighting for that spot with Brickhouse, who we'll talk about later. And Arachnos' turret got a 37% buff, still making it useless. And Tengu's jump got a 41% buff. So now it deals 53,600 damage. And with the legendary damage implant, that becomes 69,680 damage. That's a lot more damage than before. And Ares shield got a 41% buff, making it have 43,900 HP. So I think all the rare mechs will be much worse than before. Shadow will be more squishier than before. Arachnos will be more useless than before. Tengu will be less tankier than before. Tengu will be a much weaker mech, especially since the shotguns got nerfed as well. And Guardian will be much weaker than before as well. He'll still be good with the system crash range implant, but not that good without it. And Ares will be a pretty bad mech as well. Next is the epic mechs, and they all got a 68% buff except Orion. Orion only got a 45% buff, which is gonna hurt him a lot. People were using Orion since he counters Bastion, and Bastion is such a strong mech in the meta right now, but now he's gonna be much weaker. And Killshot's dash got a 68% buff, so now it deals 66,900 damage. And with the damage implant, that becomes 86,970 damage. Killshot's dash will deal lethal amount of damage now. And Zephyr's stun got 100% nerf. It went from lasting 6 seconds to lasting 3 seconds. This is a huge nerf and makes Zephyr absolutely useless now. And Cheetah's mines got a 30% buff, so now they deal 38,000 damage each. And with the legendary damage implant, that becomes 49,400 damage. Cheetah also is now 24 energy capacity. And Sentinel's shield got a 68% buff, so now it has 57,400 HP. And with the shield implant, that becomes 74,620 HP. So I think Killshot will be a strong mech, especially with the newly buffed EMs. Zephyr might be decent with the pulse range implant, but without it, he'll be useless. And Panther will still probably be one of the strongest mechs in the game. And Cheetah might be a viable option now. He won't be meta, but he'll be pretty strong. And Redeemer will still be one of the best mechs in the game. And Orion will be a good Bastion counter, but not that great other than that. And Aegis will still be a super strong mech, especially on CPC. And Sentinel will be a decent mech, but not that great. Next to the legendary mechs, and they all got a 100% buff except Redox. Redox got a 139% buff, which is pretty crazy. And Surge's stun got a 25% nerf. It's going from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. This means you have to be much more selective with your stun. And Redox's caustic blast got a 100% buff, so now it's going to deal 45,500 damage. And with the legendary damage implant, that becomes 59,150 damage. And Onyx's rock is getting 149% buff. It's now going to deal 88,552 damage. And with the damage implant, that becomes 115,118 damage. Onyx's rocket is going to deal crazy amounts of damage now. And Gatecrasher's beam is getting a 50% buff. It's now going to deal 60,000 damage and 78,000 damage with the damage implant. And Gatecrasher's Blast is going to deal 57,000 damage and 74,100 damage with a damage implant. And Bastion's shield is getting a 50% buff. So now it's going to have 60,000 HP. So now with the legendary pilot, he's going to have 457,740 HP with the shield. That's a crazy amount of HP, and he's going to be super tanky now. But unfortunately, he'll still get one shot by EMs. And Bastion's shield is getting a 33% nerf. It's going from 4 seconds to 3 seconds. So although all the legendary mechs are getting crazy amounts of HP, I don't think it's going to matter much. Since EMs now deal almost 3 times more damage, all these legendary mechs will still get one shot by them. So the HP will only help against weapons that aren't EMs. So although Brickhouse has 338,100 HP, it will be useless against EMs. So the current meta will be more about how good their abilities are rather than how good their stats are. So Surge is still going to be one of the best mechs in the game. Although he's probably not the best mech in the game anymore because his stun got nerfed and Redeemer's probably better than him, he'll still be the second best mech in the game. He'll be incredibly strong with EMs. And although Redox will be much stronger than before, he's still not going to be a meta mech. And Onyx and Gatecrasher will be pretty viable mechs, but not meta mechs. Gatecrasher is probably a bit stronger than Onyx since his stats are better and his ability can be used to counter Aegises and Panthers. And Brickhouse will now be a super strong mech now. I think some people are going to replace Stalkers in their hangar with Brickhouse. Although he's much slower, has a bigger hitbox, and gets wrecked by mortars, I think he's arguably a better mech than Stalker. Not only does he not have a damage penalty, but he can give his damage boost to his teammates and help them out as well. I might make a Stalker vs Brickhouse comparison video in the future. And Bastion will still be a super strong mech. He'll definitely still be a top 5 mech. Although he'll get completely destroyed by EMs, he'll still be a super strong mech at close range. So I think the top 5 mechs in the game are going to be Redeemer number 1, Surge number 2, Panther number 3, Bastion number 4, and either Stalker or Brickhouse number 5. And if you want to know every weapon stat changes, watch my every weapons new stats video that I'll upload soon. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and see you guys.